I vote yes. Doug?
Yes.
Ed?
Sure. Southwest Energy permit to conduct geophysical operations, seismic testing ordinance.
Yeah, I gave everybody a copy of the ordinance that Dennis sent us.
Yeah. Okay.
What do we gain by having this ordinance is my question.
We do that, what you gain is you protect your roads, you protect your people. We litigated that same ordinance,
Okay, but what do we have bonding in place, and we've had lots of seismographic testing going on here.
we've done seismic testing, that ordinance we have in place at different places. It protects your public, it protects everybody. You have to go through certain procedures. We've done it West Pike, Long Branch Borough.
Do we ask you for this ordinance, or did you recommend it?
I had someone
He
requested it.
recommended
Okay.
it at the last meeting.
Okay.
I'm Bob Henningsen with Southwest Energy. Can I ask a question about this?
Sure.
This is the first I've seen it. When I got on the agenda 2 weeks ago, I had no idea this existed.
I didn't either.
But it doesn't, the ordinance does not exist because it hasn't been adopted yet. It has to be advertised.
Yeah.
All right, we're trying to get permission to do this. We're gonna be starting in 2 to 3 weeks possibly.
This ordinance won't be passed till
Yeah.
next month anyway. If the board decided to go through, you have to advertise.
Yeah, we'd have to advertise the thing and then vote on it next meeting or something,
So can we still go ahead and do as we normally have and just get the heavy hauling bond that we normally get for our vibrator equipment and
It's your call, not mine. So however you folks want to do it, it's administrative.
let,
yeah. Whatever the procedure has been, I'm assuming we can't change it, right? If it's-
But the ordinance is not in effect.
Right,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Where's this?
I've read that ordinance and I think it does protect the township. I'm not a lawyer.
We had a
but-
situation in Cumberland Township where the ordinance protected a local business. They basically, I call them thumper trucks. You guys have a special name for them. And it basically caused damage to a facility on Route 88 going south out of Carmichael because it does do damage. People do complain. But that's, it
It
doesn't,
does provide some protection to the people.
it provides
Kind of like
protection
the
to
zoning ordinance guy, huh?
we worked
No, I
in
wouldn't
Donnell
say
too.
Okay, but it does, we used it before. And we
Right.
litigate, the ordinance is valid. Go ahead.
And we worked in Donnell 2 years ago, and we shook a line 28 miles from, in West Virginia to Highway 21 and down Highway 21. We had a bond on it, we had a escrow check. We fulfilled everything, there was no damages, no complaints. We got the bond back and the escrow check back. And we just want to continue doing
Yeah.
a better job this time off of that. And like I say, my people, they haven't seen this in Houston. I can't do anything with it because I'm a contractor and I can't sign for Southwest Energy. When it comes to this, I can sign this finished product, but they've got to read it and their attorneys have to see it.
Yeah.
Do we have to do this now, is what I'm saying?
That ordinance doesn't exist.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't
it's,
Doesn't exist.
it's just a proposed,
Okay,
proposal right now. So whatever process you followed before, I'm assuming
It'd be the same.
you're gonna have to follow now. Yeah.
Does he sign, you guys haven't signed an agreement or something? They're gonna provide you with insurance and everything else?
We haven't done anything.
we do have some
We
permits.
haven't,
We
yeah.
do have permits signed from the last year, 2017, for this job.
But do we have an agreement saying that in case something goes wrong, it protects our roads and all that? What are you guys doing? You have someone using thumper trucks?
We're new to this.
Never had an issue.
Well,
with it.
what they've done in the past is do a heavy hauling permit, but the thumper
An
trucks are
agreement?
not really heavy hauling, and they're not making as many passes. We don't mind paying a bond, but the amount that they were,
What
Last
is
year,
the
I think
thumper,
they
I thought a thumper truck's pretty heavy. Isn't it pretty heavy or no?
52,000.
So what's the impact from the vibration?
What's it take, it'd be 52,000. It's, you have a 10-ton weight limit, you have weight limit on your roads?
All of them are 10 ton.
So then you have to have a heavy hauling agreement.
Right.
Right, that's what I was agreeing to.
I actually had an
We don't
agreement.
mind doing the heavy hauling agreement. And I think what also the escrow check, what I wanted to find out, what I was trying to find out a few weeks ago, is can we put all the roads under one bond? I don't mind if it's $1 million, I think the bond would have been $1,350,000.
Yeah, are you gonna specify what roads you're gonna be using? Is that part of your bond?
But we want to use every road in the township. Well, we were wanting to, we don't necessarily have to. that may change.
Yeah.
But we were just gonna permit all of them, and that way, if what we had to get on, we'd get on.
How many miles of road do you have in the township?
53
3.4,
something?
53.4 or 54.3.
And some of this is not even in our chutes, it's in the township. We were just gonna cover the whole township to be safe. This job stops about 1.5 miles before you get to Claysville, so any road that goes due north of there and is back to the east of it, we're not even gonna get on. But we were just gonna cover all of them,
Just to.
just in case we had to use a road to get to a point, there was a bridge out
Do
or
we
something
do,
we had.
do we do agreements with them also? Because the reason why I asked about seismic testing,
Yes.
in Morgan Township a number of years ago, we had GeoKinetics come in.
Mhm.
GeoKinetics did about $150,000 worth of damage to the road. And, you know, because the roads here sometimes you don't have the basis. So what I'm suggesting, I don't know how you guys do how you do your roads here. It's my suggestion, if they're gonna do the heavy hauling agreement with you, that they have their engineer, whoever that new engineer is, to go out and videotape the roads in case we do have damage. Because like I said, I had to go after the bonding company in Morgan Township a number of years ago, to go after the bond, because they did damage, they refused to fix the roads. So you need to have, if you wanna make a motion, it's up to you folks, to enter into a heavy hauling agreement with, who is this? Southwest Energy?
Southwest. Energy.
Southwestern Energy, subject to an appropriate agreement for heavy hauling being put in place. 2, a appropriate bond, he says $1 million is going to give you.
When did you wanna do this?
We'll probably be starting, it's kinda up in there when we're gonna start. We'd like to start probably, the end of March.
3, you have an application fee here for when you guys do stuff?
It's like $300,
You have an escrow account.
yes.
Dennis, I think you wrote those ordinances.
I write so many, I don't recall who I wrote them for. But
Very different from the one you gave us, the new one.
Okay, because that new one's been developed because of litigation.
Yes,
So basically, they pay a $300 application fee, they pay what's the escrow amount, $3,500?
It was, when we did the other road, it was, the escrow amount was, I'm trying to think what it was.
$3,500 is not gonna kill you, I don't think, but that escrow account
It
would
was
reimburse,
$3,000, and then we agreed last year to make it $5,000.
whatever the escrow account is, $5,000, and that would reimburse, because you want your engineer to go out, videotape the roads, do a study, because that used to be old days, the videotape was okay, then all of a sudden now it's become, you have to have an engineering study. And just have your engineer go out and do a study of
That's
that.
in the township application that they'll do the road.
I don't have it in front of me, but, so basically,
Okay.
if you wanna make a motion to approve it, subject to those conditions,
You haven't sent it, you haven't filled out any paperwork yet.
We've got a permit, or permits last year for this job on some of the real estate property, that type of
Are
thing.
we still holding that,
This building, for instance.
are we still holding any of your bond or any? Do we have any of your bond? Do we have any of your,
No, sir.
Yes,
We didn't
I'm
mind it
confused.
because I've been wanting to get an
Okay.
amount.
I'm confused by what you're telling me. You have permits from last year that are still valid this year, so why are you here?
He's saying on property, he
On
has.
real estate, on real property,
Okay,
and there.
But not on
and at
roads.
the time, there was no permit on the roads, other than the heavy hauling
Right.
permit.
okay.
all right, so if you wanna make a motion, subject to those conditions I mentioned before, you can do that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Read it back.
Well, I say
A
that.
motion to enter into a heavy hauling agreement with Southwestern Energy, subject to the following conditions. 1, the $1 million bond be put in place by Southwestern Energy.
he said
2,
1.3.
1.3 million.
1.350. It's a change.
All right, 1.3,
He did the math.
1.3 million dollar bond be put in place. 2, that an application fee of $300 be paid to the township. 4, that an escrow amount of $5,000 be put in place.
And we can pay the,
I'm done yet. With the caveat that if that escrow amount ever goes below $3,000, that upon demand, that'd be reimbursed up to, that's what we call a living escrow. That'd be reimbursed, that'd go up to $5,000 upon 10-day written notice. Next number, that the township engineer do videotaping and do a study on all the roads in question. Okay? That's someone's motion.
That's Doug's motion?
I'm sorry if I,
no,
And Mike seconded.
I second it.
Does anybody have any questions or comments? How do you vote?
Mike,
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
I vote yes. Doug?
Yes.
Ed?
I don't agree.
No, that ain't gonna matter. Okay,
I make a motion, we adopt the geophysical seismic testing
No, you
ordinance.
can't adopt it, you have
No.
to
Okay,
advertise.
did we advertise it?
advertise, that we
Make a motion to
advertise.
advertise.
Making a motion to advertise it.
I second that motion.
Any questions, comments?
None of this, other than what I've already had.
How do you vote?
Mike,
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Vote yes. Doug?
Now,
Ed?
Yes. Airs up Luker hauling status. I thought we took care of that last
We
month.
made it
No, no.
temporary.
We made it temporary.
Oh.
I mean, really, the issue comes up about arrows up, is this a local business there?
Yes.
I don't know anything about it.
As per, the paperwork I had last week, or last month, I believe under the, yeah,
There's a number of court cases that
I believe under that, they are.
But first of all, the issue, I think someone said also about oil and gas companies being subject to, local delivery, and it's not, because underneath, was it 4205 subsection 5 or something, or subsection 5C or whatever, according to the 2018 change in the law, oil and gas is not subject to being a local delivery. Anything involving mineral extraction, whatever else. Good night. The issue comes down, and again, this is section 189.3, proof of local traffic status. This is your regulations. The following types of documents will constitute evidence of vehicles' local traffic. A bill of lading, shipping order, or similar document which shows the destination on the posted highway. Certification by the permittee or an official or of a permittee company on the company letter describing the local traffic nature of the activity which the vehicle is engaged. It's a defense. According, there was a couple of cases, for some reason I left the folder on my computer, I was doing some last minute research. There's court cases that say it's a defense to being charged with the crime, of section 4902. Now this is, you handed me Donegal Township Code. Okay, 125.10 exemptions, or exceptions. Nothing shall prohibit the following: emergency vehicles, which is standard in the Act. Any vehicle making an isolated delivery of consumer goods. C, any person or entity posting any security required by the township for the use of said street or roads by excessive weight vehicles. Paragraph D, vehicles granted, and that's referring to the section I just read to you. Vehicles granted local hauler status by the township. In reviewing an application for local hauler status, the township shall consider local traffic provisions contained in chapter 189, which is what I just read to you. Local traffic generally applies to emergency vehicles, school buses, government vehicles, utilities, or other contractors engaged in construction and so forth, or vehicles going to or coming from a residence, commercial establishment, or a farm located on a posted highway, which can be granted only via a posted highway. Is this the only way in and out? Because if you look at section 49.2, 49.2 talks about alternate, I know I have this someplace else, in West Pike Run Township. This status may be granted when it's determined that a user is taking a posted route to a stated destination where it's determined that the hauling will not cause significant damage to the roadway. Well, what type of trucks are we bringing in there?
Huge.
Tractor trailer.
And what is this, how many tractor trailers a day?
It's about 60. He talked over 60 tractor trailer loads.
How many?
It's over 60 that are 25 feet longer than our water trucks.
Yeah.
This is 60 coming a day?
Yes.
I've never,
Well, no one's ever seen 60 coming.
Yeah.
You counted them?
We called them.
What's that?
We spoke to them.
doesn't Range have that room on
We do. We've spent $1.8 million in road repairs on that road.
60?
60
I've come
Trucks
down
a
that
day.
road and they've been back to
I'm
back.
just, so you talk, who did you
Down the
talk
board.
to?
We had one of our water operations managers call them, because we did have concerns about Grimes Road. And they said it'll be about 60 tractor trailer loads a day.
What type of business are they in, Alexis?
They do, the big sand boxes for the frac sites.
Well, they may not be,
Anybody talk to him?
I've
Anybody
never-
talk to him?
I've not seen,
We've
ever
not,
seen, I've seen more water trucks on that road than anything.
Well, they got a.
Right, we haven't
Put a
gone
camera
in.
up where you can see what goes up and down.
Yeah,
What's
60
that?
60 trucks
Put
is
a
a lot.
camera up where you can see what goes up and down.
yeah, they're.
60 trucks is a lot
when
for a
Range did the
day.
road, the
Yeah.
roads.
When Range redid the road though, their specs call for 1,000 trucks a day.
Yeah.
But
It does- I don't think that it-
for Aero Ups trucks.
That's
Range
not
didn't buy the
their-
road.
They almost have. So why is it that Arrow's Up, who can have trucks that heavy on that road, you expect Range to pay all the money and repair the road, and yet you will
Never
give the
said we
other
would
company?
expect them to.
Why
do
would-
I,
it.
I don't remember asking Range to fix anything.
Yeah.
No, I would never.
Well,
That's
why
one
come they
thing.
have a
They got a
bond?
bond
Local,
on
my
it?
understanding is local
Because they're-
exemption doesn't,
It doesn't
They're not
doesn't
exist.
exempt them
local.
from repair.
Yeah.
I mean, if they make it damage and you.
How do you
They're
decide,
still-
how do you determine that?
They're still if you read chapter 189, if you read section 4902, I think it's what it is, 4502, it still says they're liable for the damage to the road.
Yes.
I mean, just because they're local doesn't mean they don't get, they get a carte
It's
blanche.
no different than if I went out and damaged
Okay,
something.
the question I have, how do you determine that it was Range's trucks that damaged the road, or is this, Arrows Up damaged the road?
Do you have that road bonded also, Alexis?
Yeah.
12,500?
25,000.
How many miles is this road?
I don't know.
You got it from one end to the other?
I wanna say yes, but don't quote me on that.
That's-
You
So they provide,
That's 2 miles?
I think we do,
Yeah.
because we have another pad down the other.
so you have 2 miles of road, so that's where you know it's 25,000.
25,000 miles. So
No, it's 12,000. You bought-
we range
Well,
up
well,
to
yeah, I'm not saying the higher number.
25,000.
No idea.
I mean, so I thought, when we talked about this last time, I thought we were talking about one truck, a couple trucks a day.
Though we do have, the length is also an issue because of that turn in from 40 to Grimes, that those trucks are taking out that corner.
Nobody's taking it out.
Is the corner breaking up? Mr. Graham, is it
Yeah.
breaking up?
Yeah.
I think local delivery would be like, to me, I would assume would be a couple of trucks, and that's what the case is. That's what we're talking, a couple of trucks a day. But 60 trucks? I think, why, Arrows, they don't want to put a bond up on the road?
I would hope so.
We haven't asked.
I think what
Somebody
my,
had to ask about this, you asked about it.
Asked about what?
This was on the table since
They
you
said-
guys.
They sent,
they sent a letter.
yeah, this was whenever you guys were.
I think the
Well,
letter,
but did somebody not show up and say, hey?
No.
Now, you guys basically,
They
Tabled
contacted
it
us
for
because
like
they
3
said
months
that
in a
you've been
row.
tabling it repeatedly
Yeah.
since the fall.
And we wanted you guys to handle it.
all right, why don't you,
Gee, thanks, Doug.
You're not handling it.
But they're local hauler because we're receiving all their tax
All
money.
their tax money.
Yeah,
yeah, but
because they're based.
I don't, the case that I see, it's like it's 1 or 2 trucks, not 60 trucks a day.
I have a hard time with that number.
I do too.
I do too.
I'm by there a lot. If there were 60 truck,
Why don't I do this? Why don't you authorize the solicitor to contact Arrows Up? Because I haven't spoke to them at all. I mean, I just was authorized to look at the law, and the law, there's a couple of cases.
There's a lot cheaper guy right here.
that stuff I
Let
gave
him
you,
talk to him.
What's that? I don't care, I guess that, whoever wants to talk.
that packet I gave you has the letter that they sent.
You gave me a packet?
Yeah, right there.
Enough for 1,000 trucks today.
Chief, do you know these folks?
No, sir.
This is what our date,
That's the one I sent after the last meeting, when
Okay,
we
this
gave
is-
them the temporary.
this letter is November 28th, 2017.
Ed, I can tell you, I've come down Grimes Road and had to pull over at the Arrows Up entrance, and those trucks have been back to back all the way down to 40.
Yeah, 53 foot, you know what you're talking
But
about? You're
that's a
talking
lot
about
of-
8
that was a
trucks.
lot of-
Okay,
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, at 53 foot apiece, you're talking about 8 trucks.
Okay, but that's not 1 or 2.
It's not 60 either.
Well, we didn't. say
Well, that
it
was just one time, I mean, 5 minutes, we were
Here's what
sitting
they sent you the letter.
The company claims 60, right?
Well, here's what they said in the letter dated, this is November 28th.
I really honestly don't
It says they
care.
only get a few trucks a day.
But
Yeah.
See, a few trucks a day, I don't have a problem,
Yeah.
but if it's 60 trucks a day, I got a problem with 60 trucks a day.
yes,
That's not what it,
But
Did you
again,
not say you needed
that's a
to
number that we
talk to
keep
Arrows
hearing
up
rumor wise in
and
the
they told you
community.
to-
All right, well, we have, what's not, I don't like Ed said,
I don't like to deal with
I don't deal in
rumors.
rumors.
yep.
Yes.
All right, why don't we have the chief? You know who these people are, chief? How about you go talk to them, and then you give me a call, see what's going on, because I don't, for the record, I don't, if the chief calls, you guys call, I don't charge a phone call. So have the chief check into it, and call, and I'll talk to you, and then, once the chief finds out, then I'll talk to you guys, and we'll go from there.
so we are not taking any action on this at this
Well,
time?
I don't like to deal in rumor either.
I
It's
agree.
1 or 2 trucks, but if it's 60 trucks, and Alexis, that's.
So we're just gonna leave
Are we
it?
extending the
Are we
temporary?
extending their temporary for another 30 more
Temporary.
days?
For another 30 days, but however, if the chief says to me that there's an issue, then I think we ought to address this issue, you know.
It can be revoked, according to the,
We revoked it,
it can be revoked at any time.
well, I'll take care of it. I don't want to deal in any rumor,
All right.
I'm good
okay?
with that.
So do we need, what action do we need to do right now?
A motion,
Or
just a motion to leave the, no, we
Extend the 30 days.
can't, I don't want to do it, just leave it
It's
the way it is.
still in the temporary status.
Right, I just want to make sure, I don't want to deal with rumor. If it's 60 trucks, I have an issue.
We could revisit that next meeting.
Right.
We have the numbers.
Whose document is this? All right, so just leave it there.
Okay.
Chief,
Hold
you're gonna
on.
talk to them, then you give me a call.
Deputy Tech,
You got it.
Yes, Ed.
How many trucks does it take to make it?
The ones, cases I saw, the appellate court cases, it's like, they're usually talking about 1 or 2 trucks, pretty much. You know, but 60 trucks is a little bit different.
Well, let's forget 60 trucks and say 5 trucks a day.
Until the next
It's on a case-by-case
Why
basis,
shouldn't he be paying his share?
because it's a local delivery, there's an exception.
Okay.
Hey, guys, wait a minute, I'm just telling you what the law says.
Hold on.
That's what we're looking at, okay?
Where's their main corporation?
I have no idea.
The last,
In the state of
It
Pennsylvania.
doesn't have to be
the
that.
last letter we wrote to them said that we would decide tonight, so then we need to send them a letter saying we're extending it another
It's
30
gonna extend
days.
another 30 days.
Yes.
The chief's gonna check into it, the chief's correct.
I'll make a motion that we extend it another 30 days. Or,
okay.
we need to send them a letter
We
regardless.
we got a motion. Somebody second.
I'll second it.
How do you vote?
Mike,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
And it's just extending it another 30
Yes.
days? Yes. We're moving on. Deputy Tax Collector,
okay. She needs to pick.
appointment,
She needs to pick
forms
a-
need signed. Okay.
I don't know if it needs to be a motion, it just needs to be signed. She has to have a deputy tax collector.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I
She
don't,
has to have a deputy tax collector.
That's correct, they do.
And we sign the paper.
and we signed the paper. She has.
Good night, Alexis.
Good night.
So we
But this
just have-
person who you're gonna appoint, they have to be bondable also.
She already is, she is a tax collector out of West Finley.
Okay, good. So basically, you're making a motion to appoint Deputy Tax Collector Melinda Duncan, is that who it is?
Yes.
A Deputy Tax Collector, that's part of the change of law I carried a couple of years ago.
Okay.
They don't have to be a Darnell Township resident?
No.
I'll make the motion that we appoint Melinda Duncan deputy.
I'll second the motion.
All right. Anybody got any problems with it? How do you vote?
Mike,
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Who
And then
signs?
yes. Done.
Yes.
Ed.
Yeah, who signs?
Chairman, is there a place the chairman sign? Sign it bluing. And the person, Deputy Tax Collector, in case something, Tammy Barton ever goes down, basically that person stand instead. And for the record, you don't need to be a resident, because sometimes you can't get people locally. We have that issue elsewhere.
It's today,
26.
2/26. Done. Community bank remote deposit capture form needs signatures. Do we have to vote on anything?
No, Sharon now has the access, the bank has given us the free, she can take the checks, she deposits them the same day that we get them. She no longer has to hold checks.
She don't
to go
have,
to-
she don't have to go to the bank, she can just do it from here?
She does it from her desk, yes.
There's no cost to it?
There is no cost to it and
Can't beat
everything,
that.
so
Sounds good to
You
me.
get one from the other bank?
I'm gonna call them next to see if they'll do the same thing. Because then it saves her from driving to
I
the bank and holding
I
checks.
have no issue with it.
Tammy, can I ask you a question?
Sure,
Do you guys have any accounts with PNC?
no.
Okay, because on my Donegal email, I keep getting emails about a PNC account. And nobody else has ever had that email that I know of.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tax collector fees and NSF charges and duplicate copy fees, tax collection fees ordinance.
that's, okay. Tammy, they brought us something to do. That's a separate. Oh, that's okay, that Tammy just brought. Did I see that? Nope.
Basically, what you're trying to do is the Ethics Commission made a decision saying basically that the tax collector fees have to be set by the Board of Supervisors by rule. That decision came out a few years back. So basically, if she sets the fees herself, she's violation of the Ethics Commission, the Ethics Act. And like this says, this is the
So we have,
standard case or something like that.
so this is the ordinance.
So you need a motion to advertise the ordinance for the next meeting.
But we need to change one of the fees because of this.
I put $25, I didn't know your fee was 40, but just change it, you
We can just change that
Yeah.
now and we can.
advertise.
Yeah, I just meant, because there's she worked today to get it, so
All right.
that's the only one. It's $45 now for the tax certification.
All right,
So you motion to advertise that.
I make the
It'll become
motion.
$45 when we adopt that ordinance. Right.
Yes, yes.
You have to have that when you have this meeting.
I second it.
Who made the motion?
Mike.
Mike, how do you vote?
Mike,
Yes.
Kathy, yes. I vote yes. Doug?
So that's changing it from $25 to $50 or $45?
To 45, and then, yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
It's my understanding, Doug, there was some type, it's normally 25, but for some reason, there was a decision by the McGuffey School Board,
All right, I'm aware of it.
that said 45, and I didn't know it was 45.
All right, William Randall Archery wants his bond released on Greaves Road. Ed was out there today, said everything's hunky-dory.
Motion to release it.
Is the machine still there?
Machine's still there.
Mr. Croucher, is the road fine with you?
No worse for wear.
I was just curious.
Go.
We needed to wait till the machine was off.
I believe the machine put the load over the post and lumber.
Oh, what is it, a log, what is it, a skidder?
Yeah. I don't know, is
Where
that
they-
skidder still out there, Ed?
Yeah, it was today.
Yeah, it's still out there, that's what I thought.
I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, if we release it and then he damages it with the skidder.
Then he gouges the road or something? I
Why
don't
would you release the bond if he's got something on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all, that's where I'm at with it.
Okay, what do we have, you motion?
Doug made a motion.
I'll withdraw.
Anybody second?
No,
He
that's
withdraws,
withdrawn.
good,
That's
okay.
withdrawn.
We're just in a holding pattern then, right?
Correct.
All right. Hunter subdivision.
On the table, you probably ought to put it back on the agenda.
Do you want me,
I think you ought to table that now for next meeting.
All right, I make a motion to table the Greaves Road bond issue.
I second it.
All those, or how do you vote?
Mike,
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
I vote yes. Doug?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, the Hunter subdivision.
John, you're up. John, Mark, your turn.
Okay, I'm John Mark Hunter, and so we're looking to, I'm gonna be buying 10.5 acres off my dad, John, and mother, Judy, Dwight and Becky, and
Dwight's your dad?
Dwight's mom.
Good man.
We're gonna build a house there. So we went through the planning commission, Washington County, and signed off on it, reviewed reviewed it. The Washington County Sewage Commission did a planning module and issued a sewage permit, so we're looking for your approval.
It doesn't have, Dwight Hunter's part of the, is it no?
Dwight's in Florida, he'll sign it as soon as he gets back, Dwight and Becky both. And he just has to sign it before it gets recorded.
Yeah.
Subdivision. Yes.
It's just, it's 10 and a half acre.
Oh, look, Winter
I
Engineering.
know.
Yeah.
Look at that, township plan.
John Mark, you all right with Whitmer Engineering? I see you have it on there.
There's the lowest bidder.
There it is.
And there's no public sewage out there, just,
That's correct, no public sewage.
is it, have you had it perked or anything?
10-acre exemption.
Okay.
That's part of-
1987, 86 situation.
That's part of the planning module.
John.
And there's a permit in there for that too.
Yeah. John, is there city water there?
No.
Or is, okay, I didn't know how far it went.
No.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Let's stop right before that.
It's a 10-acre sewage farm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So all you have to do, if you want, is you can make a motion to approve the, I don't know what the name of this, the Hunter subdivision as prepared by Whitmer Engineer, and also the 10-acre exemption planning module, based upon representation